Welcome everyone to Total Nonstop Impact Talk for Impact fans, featured right here on the TNI network. This is Trevor, my co-host Bill, J-Bone, and Mark, Uncle Mark, and this is the Throwback show, the Throwback of the week, NWA-TNA number 57, gentlemen, 5-7. We also the 57 plays into something else today. Not Hines. We're not talking Hines. We got something else to play into that 57.
Settle down. You're a company man, though. You're a company man.
Also relevant.
Exactly. There's the 57 tie-in we're gonna get to in a second. But gentlemen, good evening. What's going on for another episode of Throwback? Mark's favorite show. This is Mark's favorite thing to do all week.
It has become. I really, really am enjoying the throwbacks. That took me a while to get back up to speed, and there's things I like now that I used to hate, and things I like I used to hate, or love I used to hate. Wait, whatever. But anyways, yes.
That you hate that you hate that you used to
love.
Love to hate. Love to
yes, that. Yeah, let's go.
He's clearly in the treehouse already, everybody.
Yes.
I know everybody, I assume in the chat's going to wonder who that is framed behind Mark right now.
Just thinking the same thing. Who's framed above your left shoulder, Mark? What we got there?
Oh, this is all Buffy the Vampire Slayer stuff.
I thought the shirt said Buffy.
Yeah.
So is that Sarah Michelle Gellar wearing a Buffy shirt?
So yeah, that's the season 8 graphic novel number 1. Original artwork cover that I have like signed and notarized and stuff, and then all the
that's what I thought. I thought I saw Buffy, so I thought that's what it was. But it's like Trent wearing a Hemi t-shirt. I didn't think she'd be wearing a Buffy t-shirt. It's throwing me off.
I am a huge Buffy fan.
Are you?
Clearly, very big Buffy.
Very
fan.
nice.
Yeah.
I never watched. I never saw an episode of Buffy.
It's changed my life.
Changed your life? Wow.
Oh yeah, it's big. It's a very important show, man.
Wow.
I discovered all sorts of things about myself through the characters on Buffy. Like once a month, I tend to feel strange. I'll wake up, blood under my fingernails.
Whoa!
Naked outside. I had very little knowledge of lycanthropy until I started watching Buffy, so it really changed my life.
This Bill, this took a dark turn here.
Yeah, well, hey, who's on the cover of the show tonight?
Oh, it's true. It's true. The Sinister Minister is the cover tonight. Yeah. Very wicked shit there, too, by the way, going on in this episode.
Oh, yeah.
This was a dark one, guys. Very dark episode tonight. Looking forward to it, though. We J-Bone has a birthday wish tonight. J-Bone, you have a birthday wish to shout out today.
Well, thank you very much. Oh, you mean someone else? No, not myself.
I would never wish you happy birthday.
Wait. Are you going to do the... Hey, wait a second. Since Trent doesn't have a band anymore, can you do a little happy birthday, Mr. J-Bone? Oh, wait, it's not J-Bone's birthday?
Not J-Bone's birthday. No.
Not my birthday. I mean, I can sing if you want, but the person that we're going to talk about in a second probably wouldn't want me to sing.
Yeah, he probably wouldn't want you to.
So it's funny. This we're talking about episode 57.
I don't care. I'll beat his ass right now.
There you go.
It's that gentleman right there. It's Ken Shamrock's 57th birthday. Happy birthday to the first NWA-TNA champion.
Very nice. The man,
Always,
Ken Shamrock.
Never take that away.
He is. He looks fantastic at 57. My God. The guy's almost 60 years old. He's unbelievably
He's new Jack LaLanne, man. He should be doing infomercials for supplements or something.
I'm surprised he's not. Honestly, it's fountain of youth. The body, it's incredible what shape he's in right now. But Eric, happy birthday to Ken Shamrock, 57 years old, and we're doing number 57. This poetically worked out.
Yeah.
Very cool. Worked out better.
But we are going to talk number 57. This was a lot go. This was a crowd unbelievable on this one. I absolutely love this crowd. I'm talking like I personally want to shake all their hands.
I would say at this point where we're at, the crowd has become a full-fledged character at this point.
Yeah. Oh, no doubt. No doubt.
You have your regulars, but there's even some there's an influence of some new, but I'll tell you what though, I don't know. They were almost too good tonight, if you catch my drift.
Whoa! You think there was an applause sign going off? You think? What do you?
I think there was some plants.
No way.
Are you talking about the woman behind Tanae and West to their right in particular? Is that who you're talking about? Okay, yeah, I agree.
I think there were sporadically placed people.
Yes,
that were, and the signs. A lot of them too good.
Yes.
Too good for Nashville. Very Florida design. Pre-made signs.
Opposite
Really?
hard cam. Opposite hard cam. There's a bunch of people that obviously know each other, and then you'll see two people kissing. I texted you, Trent, to watch that row, and there's a bunch of signs. I'm with you, Bill. I wasn't sure, but hearing you say it, I noticed all that shit too. I just didn't put it together.
Or are they just a group that's coming now together?
I've seen the people we've been seeing, which are
the rednecks.
people that could be manipulated, let's say, by maybe some people directing them in a certain way. I wouldn't say that's anything like the current climate in our country, but I would say there was a little bit of this in the crowd.
Wow, that's crazy. Jay, I don't know about you. I wasn't paying that close attention to the to the crowd. I just knew there were
some good fan made signs though in this crowd, which I will point out during the show.
Great.
I did text Trent about the crowd. I found the crowd to be really hype, and I found
Very
a lot of really hype fans. A lot of really hype fans that I wasn't familiar with, like our normal heel section guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
There were new people.
Yes. Hearing you say it, Bill, especially the woman behind.
And let's remember, let's just put out there what happens during this show and why I think this is the case for this show.
Yeah.
A steel cage match during the show, not pre-set up. A lot of time to burn. Keep that in mind during the course of the show.
Also, you're zoomed out a lot during that setup, so you have to show more.
Oh, it's a half hour they had to burn.
Yeah.
It was
on a live 2-hour show.
I got credit to them. We're gonna get to it though. They did. I think they did a good job.
Not an easy feat. Not an easy feat.
Not easy. Jay,
I was just gonna say that crowd was hot. Jarrett, and I give a lot of credit to Jeremy Borash. They every once in a while you'll catch it on camera, but he is always next to or behind or somewhere around the commentary desk. Like it's similar to what we see Ingrid do. Well, okay, back when there was crowds, a year ago.
Crowds,
constantly, come on, let's go, yelling at the crowd, let's go, let's, getting them hyped up. And Jeremy Borash was always running around, getting like a wave going, everything,
Jay, I'm confused. What are these crowds you speak of? I don't know what crowds? What are crowds?
See, it's when more than 5 people show up. It's also referred to as an audience.
Is that some kind of pre-COVID era type thing?
Google it. Yeah.
Is it like Raven's Flock or The Gathering?
It's just I've heard of these in history books. There used to be a thing called gatherings and crowds.
It would be a really big flock.
Oh, gotcha.
For once, I'm gonna actually play straight man here for once.
He's definitely not been in the treehouse long enough tonight. That's for sure.
Actually, it was edibles tonight. It's cold as shit outside. I forgot what I was going to say. Move on.
They're good at the straight man.
That's a little too straight. All right, we'll keep it going.
Let's get you another drink, Dino.
Yeah, seriously.
All right, guys. I haven't had a drink in over a year.
Good job. Good for you. Very
intentionally. Nice. I like it.
On purpose. Yeah. Accidentally on purpose. Very good. Yeah. All right, guys. NWA-TNA number 57, August 6, 2003. This is at the Nashville Asylum, the fairgrounds, the infamous Nashville Asylum. Now, I was on my buddy Dave's couch having a pizza or Chinese food, forking over my half of the $9.99, ordering NWA-TNA on the box. Bill, summertime. It's the dog days coming up. The summer here. What's going on? Did the lady of the time have the birthday already? Is the birthday passed at this point?
Yeah, birthday passed because
that was last week.
That was birthday week because our birthdays were only 2 days apart. It was my birthday and then her birthday, so it was birthday Festivus week. So now it's probably just a relaxation after a busy week, probably.
All right,
who knows? So you know me. I
always into something.
Very well may have been into a concert or something else. Yeah, those relaxing that rarely happens. So probably not.
I can only imagine if people still gave out physical tickets, the Ticketmaster stacks that Bill would have in his collection.
Oh yeah, it's probably near a TurboGrafx 16.
No, hey, listen, this Saturday, Bill. I'm giving some incentive to get in that attic this weekend. Hey, your buddy here's really been wanting one of those for a long time. You're feeling saucy. Get in the attic this weekend. I'm serious about that. Damn Turbo Graphics. I was googling it this today, and I was eBay, and I was like, no.
What would you play first?
Bonk's Adventure first.
Yeah,
Nice.
Bonk's
Yeah.
Adventure.
Bonk 3.
that's the go-to.
Bonk 3 is the go-to, man.
Bonk 3? I don't remember 3.
Well, that came out later. When you got it, that was the go-to though. Bonk's Adventure.
Yeah,
Bonk.
first Bonk.
Because nobody else had
Definitely
it.
started. I was
They
a
were the
big.
first one to have it.
I was a big. What was it? Slaughterhouse fan.
Splatterhouse.
Splatterhouse. There you go.
That was the one, man.
Yeah.
Splatterhouse
Well,
was
and
one.
Street Fighter with the 2 buttons at first until you got the 6-button controller.
Oh yeah,
Man, you use the turbo fires for extra buttons. That was crazy hard.
Bill. What was the other one? Keith Courage. You remember that one?
Keith Courage and Alpha Zones.
Keith
Came with
Courage.
the system.
Yeah.
Didn't that come with the system? Keith
Yep.
Courage. Yeah, that was like their Mario.
It was Keith Courage and Alpha Zones. I played through the whole thing again maybe 10 years ago. It's
that's
still
great.
real solid.
I
Wait,
never had. There's a certain amount of like the one-offs that I never got. Who made that one? Who made the Turbo Graphics? Was that Atari or?
NEC.
Oh, it was. Oh, okay.
Mhm. Yeah, they continued production on the PC Engine in Japan for another
For a
5
while,
years after here. I still have a PC Engine Duo somewhere in this house in a box.
Crazy. How about a
Yeah.
Neo Geo? We'll talk about that next week.
Dude, I've owned every single Neo Geo system. ever,
Now I
including
gotta
the
say,
Game
because
Machine.
Rex has thrown it out there. TurboGrafx, I wouldn't say it was bad. I like TurboGrafx.
I like
But
it.
Sega Genesis
Way
was,
better.
I considered, the
Way
crap
better.
at the time.
Yeah.
Where's
Sega
that
Genesis
Neo
was.
Geo?
I'm always. I've said it before. I was a Sega Master System guy before a Nintendo
Classic.
guy.
Did you get the
And I
Sega
was like-
CD, Bill? Did you get the Sega?
I had a Sega CD. I had
Yeah.
the. I
Snatcher,
had all
baby.
of it.
32X?
32X. I
Yeah.
was all Sega
Oh.
up.
I mean, they were ahead of their time, man. No question about it. They were trying to do some real heavy shit, for that time.
Oh, I
They
think I
were-
have a Dreamcast somewhere upstairs.
I got this. I still
all
got
of
a
it.
Game Gear hanging around this house
Oh,
somewhere.
I had a Game Gear too. I was all about the Sega.
There's a Japanese PS2, a Dreamcast, a Japanese
Oh,
GameCube,
wow.
An Xbox One fully modded. There's a Neo
Well,
Geo.
look at that. Look at Mark's
Wow.
place. He's turning into a
Neo
gaming
Geo.
podcast
That
now.
was
Dude, I was in the Neo
Baseball
Geo.
Stars on the Neo Geo.
Baseball Stars 2. I was in the
Yeah,
Neo
too.
Geo scene for about 25 years. A big fan. My all-time favorite system.
Fantastic. All right, Mark. August 6th, 2003. What are you doing? We're still doing that bit. Yeah, it's
Oh,
like
dude, shit. I'm in West Chase right after my wife's birthday. West Chase
That's
area.
for our Twitch crew.
Let's see. I probably would have just been watching this on the clone card. There is a possibility on a Wednesday I could have been at the club because it is retro throwback night at Numbers in Houston on
Oh.
Wednesdays, and I spent a lot of time there. So
Nice.
there is always that
Are
possibility.
you
But
cabbaging?
He's cabbaging.
during the NWA-TNA years, though, I was working a lot and really just at home during the week, probably watching this live.
Nice.
It's
J-Bone?
working like the busing of today.
The what?
Isn't it what it was a bus? What's this fire and
Oh,
flame?
Bust It. Yeah.
Bust It.
Yeah, that is it. Bust It. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, J-Bone, what was this guy doing?
Jiminy Christmas.
August 6th, 2003.
I was balding. I shaved my head in late '99.
Oh, it's been a
Or
while.
middle of '99, because that's when I first got married. So 2003. Let's see, midweek at the newspaper. Still, I think. God, I don't know. It's summertime.
Grilling something, Jay?
Probably,
drunk.
it's trying
Burning
to
a fatty.
get the neighbor's dog off my leg or something during the summer. So I don't know.
All right, let's go with that guy.
All right.
I'm gonna leave it at that.
All right.
All right, we're at the asylum, guys. We start off recap of 56. Great video package here, gentlemen. Great, like that almost like kung fu music to start. It was like dun 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 dun. It was like very Ninja Turtle-y to start
That
this.
music was, I texted you on that, dude. That music was cracking me up.
Oh
The
man,
video package music was hilarious.
this is great.
I played it back twice. I'm like, what the hell was that?
It
really
reminded me
good.
that it was like the score at the first Ninja Turtle movie is what it reminded me of. It was very much like when the Foot Clan was like looming. It was like dun 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 dun. And I was like, oh shit. But we start off hot, guys. Rawhide strap match. It's Simon and Swinger with Glen Gilberti taking on AMW, Chris Harris, James Storm, and finally, this is it, Bill. The music. This was the debut of the Guilty entrance music. That was the one. I noticed it right away. This was the first show
Oh, I didn't notice.
that their famous song "Guilty" is debuted, and it's one of my favorite entrance themes they've ever had in TNA. And this was the first show to use it, and they came out. Did you guys notice the shot of them coming out? They look like stars. Like they like arrived on this show. I think
they had a presence about them.
Different. There was something very different on this one. They looks very like they just boom. You're like that's some stars right there,
I've
man.
kind of felt that way. I've told you guys before. Back in the day, I wasn't an AMW fan.
Yeah.
This time I've had a very different experience. I understand what you're saying, but I feel like they've kind of felt that way to me for a while. Coming back this time, that you can tell that they're just a polished, hungry, good, exciting young tag team.
Yeah, they are, man. This was a non-title match, though. They were the tag team champions, a non-title match. They came out for just a fight. Like this was
they just whipped the shit out of each other, man. It was crazy, awesome.
There was always
great though. Like it's a fight. It's just that's what you want. It's a fucking. I don't want 5 guys waiting on the outside, Bill, waiting to catch anybody. I don't want cooperation moves. This is a fight, man. That's what this is. Beat the shit out of each other, and they did. They absolutely did.
Yeah. Was it
a swinger going right to the top of the tag division right here?
Oh
yeah!
Shout out to the swinger, man, and Simon. And they were in it, man. Just whipping each other, beating the fuck out of each other. Great stuff.
They hit some tandem offense too.
They did.
In the middle of all this.
They were very good here. I mean, it was funny, you hear Swinger talking later during a promo, and I'm like, he still sounds the same.
Same voice.
He's it's so much more serious, though, and it's almost hard to take him serious because
I can't.
You picture him with the shades and going.
Every time I hear him talk, I'm waiting for him to say "Daddy."
Same here. It's hard to see him any other way now.
It's crazy to think, though, for a second, in this match, you had James Storm and you got Johnny Swinger, two men who are still on Impact television today.
Crazy.
I don't know if they're done now or they just finished up tapings, but they were likely there as we speak in Nashville.
Yeah.
But that's crazy. Just a stone's throw from the asylum. They were there again. That's crazy. 18 years later.
Yeah. Because I think later we see, I don't know if it's officially the first time during a segment, the official TNA offices.
When during Mad Mikey's thing, right? That's a TNA office, isn't it? Yeah. Is it? Well, no, wait a minute. God damn it, Bill. That's his house. That's his condo with the room.
I know. But I think it's the first time on TV we actually see it because they panned to the street, and I know that street. First time I was in Nashville, of course, I went to the TNA offices.
Are they right by the asylum?
No. The TNA
not
office,
right by. It's a different part of town.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's downtown. The asylum, I think, is a little bit west of downtown. Not terribly far. I'm talking maybe at 4 or 5 miles. It's not really that far.
Oh, okay. So they're close to each other, though. You could go see them both at the same time.
Oh, yeah. You just can't walk it.
The asylum's in like a very cozy part of town, though, honestly. It's very like the neighborhood itself could fill the asylum. It's like a very cozy area. It's not a bad area. It's really
not like a warehouse district or anything like
where I stayed in Nashville for homecoming, we walked to the asylum. We just walked over to it, and we were in this really nice new development of like condos and townhouses. We stayed in this townhouse, Airbnb, and we're like, it's only.
Well, yeah, you're closer to the college.
Yeah, you're closer, closer to the school. That's where you get all those kids coming into the asylum. That's what it was.
Oh, okay. So it's in a good spot then for.
It was a prime spot. That's why they're putting the soccer field up there. I mean, you're getting sports out there.
Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know.
So it's an easy draw, but just a great match. AMW does win. They pull off all the rawhide rolls, just whipping the shit out of each other. The crowd absolutely bananas though in this, bananas. Like they pan to Don West afterwards, and the crowd's still going. Don and Mike, and the crowd's still hot. You're gonna say something, Bill?
Oh no. Well, obviously they do win the match, but they don't leave with the belts.
They don't. That's the thing. Point that out. Go ahead. Build on that.
No, because the match ends, but we get the the crowd is high. You're right, because we get the "You suck" chant.
Yes,
which is the crowd's high when you get a "You suck" chant for Glen.
Oh yeah.
And no, they wind up being able to snatch those belts and they get out of there. They hightail it.
Yeah.
Rawhide.
Yeah, they're out there, and AEW just watches from the ring. Mark, we the color of Don West's wardrobe today. Did you jot it down?
Silver on silver. I didn't jot it down, but it was silver on silver. Yeah,
Silver on silver.
A little baggier than usual too. At the angle they caught him with it first.
A couple pounds, maybe. Summertime, sweating it out.
Yeah, no, I don't want to insult Don. I feel like the shirt was tailored a little loose. He was he had a very weather balloon warmth blanket feel to him this episode. I thought,
silver on silver is tough to pull off.
It is
very.
J-Bone, when are you dressing like that? You start dressing like Don West. You should match the colors of Don West to your headbands.
That'd be so hype.
Oh, well, Jay, you gotta.
I'm a little color coordinated. I mean,
no, but imagine, J-Bone, you match your headband to Don West's wardrobe, because we point that out every week. I think this is it. This is the gimmick.
Well, my socks and undies usually match. I mean, there's that.
I don't wear undies, but
free balling? Yeah,
always. It's Texas. Hot as shit down here, man.
Texas, a whole other planet down there.
Yeah.
Oh, very nice. Okay. All right. A little too much information for me, but that's okay.
And on that note, also this.
Bro, J-Bone, listen to me. Man to man. Bro, we got the Brian Alvarez thing going on. What's going on over there with the headband, bro? What's going on there with the thing? J-Bone, talk to me.
Oh, jeez.
We had the all headbone J-Bone headband gang on Smash's podcast the other day.
The headbone.
The headbone. I had a headband on too. We were all rocking the look.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Gary Lynn tries to get into the building, J-Bone, and he stopped. This is kind of like you trying to get into the nightclub on Saturday nights, J-Bone. Tell us what happened over here with Jerry Lynn next time.
I don't remember anything after security kicks my ass. But anyways, yeah, Jerry Lynn's just showing up for work, and he's met by it's the red shirt security, right?
Red shirt, big motherfuckers, man.
They're monsters. They're like 6'8" ish. I mean, they're monsters.
They're big.
And then all of a sudden, Don Callis shows up, and he's like, he's got this piece of paper. He's trying to hand to Jerry between the two, twin towers. I'll just call them. Yeah, you were banned because you got too violent, and he's on this kick of banning the ultra violence and everything. But we have a cage match. He lets that go on.
Wait a minute,
dude. The main event. Whew.
Wait a minute.
We had a strap match. He lets that go.
Yeah,
we can't have excessive violence, J-Bone.
Dude, Raven and Douglas beat the shit out of each other all over this place.
Wait a minute.
Not your name's Jerry Lynn.
Jerry didn't take this well.
They're setting people on fire in the back, but Jerry's not allowed in the fucking building.
Jerry did not take this well at all.
We got you, Don.
He starts throwing his bags around, and Don Callis gets the paper, crumpled up and thrown back at him. It's ugly, He's like, all right, we'll see you next week, And but there's something really wonky in the next. Is it the next match? It's the next match. And we'll get to that.
Let me point out one thing about Jerry's t-shirt. He was wearing a Stuck Mojo t-shirt. Anybody catch that?
Nice.
Stuck Mojo is a band who did a music video using WCW wrestlers back in the 90s. And Stuck Mojo ended up becoming the first lineup of Fozzy. And I think some of the members are still around in the lineup today.
Yeah, Rich Ward, I think, is one of the guys. Yeah. He's like one of the. I think he does some of the producing for Chris Jericho. I think
that's where he met him. Jericho's in the music. There's a whole video they do in a wrestling ring, and like Raven, Jericho, all the guys are in it. And that was the genesis of Fozzy, in a sense. They met him. They met there during that video shoot. So that's where that all came from.
Yeah.
Jerry's
before they became America's favorite COVID band.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. Before all that.
Yeah. Cool story. Like a cool origin story. I didn't know.
Yeah. It's an interesting little factoid that just to keep in your back pocket in case that ever comes up on like Wrestling Jeopardy someday. You can use that one.
Are there even enough of us left to play Wrestling Jeopardy?
Absolutely not. We get a breakdown interview segment. They talk Michael Shane. They talk to Joey Matthews, who's back after the 1 year absence, which you pointed out.
Number one,
episode 1
to 57. Joey Matthews.
Totally forgot he was on that first episode. Yeah. Was he in that like main event multi-man match? Is that?
I believe so. He's got to be.
Are we allowed to mention Joey Matthews' name?
I was just, you know what, Bill, funny you brought that up. In my notes, I wrote down Joey Matthews, parentheses, fuck him. I literally wrote that on my notes because of the bullshit he pulled. Well, because we pulled bullshit on AAW about posting a classic match, a footage we own, by the way, and he lost his mind. And then all of a sudden, then we took it down and he started begging us to put it back up. Long story, idiotic, completely idiotic. Yeah, you're right. But well, to Bill's point, you mentioned the guy's name. He puts his lawyer on the phone and says, "You're using me to get your product over." And oh my god, what an absolute lunatic! Absolute lunatic. But yeah, it was so ridiculous. But Michael Shane,
you can take this microphone and shove it up your ass.
TNA face, fantastic. Michael Shane looks a lot like his cousin Shawn Michaels here. A lot.
Yeah,
like
what a coincidence.
Yeah,
you didn't know last week he is Shawn Michaels' cousin.
He is Shawn Michaels' cousin.
He looks a lot like him though in this little cut here. I mean, he's
cousins. Really, Shawn Michaels is actually his cousin.
Yeah, they're really playing it up though. I mean, he's really letting you know. But,
well, they said at least 15 times during the episode.
His cousin, right? Yeah.
That's Shawn Michaels' cousin.
And then we get Danny Doring over here, Bill. Danny Doring from ECW. Last
debut.
Awesome.
He looked good though. He looked good, pretty good here. I love Danny Doring. I met him like around this time at an indie, and love Danny Doring and Roadkill. Last ECW tag team
this
champion.
Was still pretty fresh because he
very
was
fresh. Yeah.
And they mentioned he was tag team champion when it ended, when Rhino was world champion.
That's right.
So it was he's still the Danny Doring you remember right here.
Yeah.
Before like over the next couple of years where he just kind of becomes a guy out there, but here he's still that Danny Doring ECW. So, but as we're seeing now, for such a hot crowd, they're a hot crowd for the early ECW guys. Late ECW guys, I don't even know if they knew who he was.
Probably not.
Yeah,
not in Nashville. Like, I mean, just locationally, and last show they probably weren't paying attention. You know, they just weren't paying attention at that point.
They weren't paying attention to TNN. Come on,
no, and which is funny. It was a Nashville network. That's the irony of the whole thing.
Yeah. But what did we spend 1 year? 1 year on TNN, was it?
1 year. 1 year.
Yeah.
There's some decent stuff on the TNN years. It just they never got seen.
Better than the sci-fi years.
Yeah,
oh,
sure.
Yeah.
And then Shark Boy with Norman Smiley. Norman's teaching him how to do the wiggle. So.
Marks, that's his Scott Hudson.
It really is. I saw him and I was like, fuck, why is he on? But that was it. It was just a quick wiggle in the back.
So Mark, I'll let you set this one up. So I'm letting we're going around the horn here. Set this next match up.
Oh man, I didn't expect to have to do that. So so we get Michael Shane, Joey Matthews, Shark Boy, Danny Doring. I can't really go over the match because so much happens. I will say that Doring looked great in his debut. I don't remember. Bill, you just mentioned Doring kind of becomes a bit player. I don't really remember what happens to his path in TNA.
By the way, it's the #1 contendership match for the X Division title. That's the thing to point out.
Correct. Yeah, I'm a little unprepared to set it up. I apologize. I will get in practice better for doing that. 4-man X Division.
You want to get to be on this goddamn show. I'm gonna need notes, my friend.
I have notes, but they're real bad. They're just not good notes, especially in this match. I will say, coming into these big multi-man X Division matches, I very rarely take notes because it's wall to wall the entire time. Typically in these matches, I will tell you that Michael Shane comes out our winner, right? Is that right? He pins all three of these guys, doesn't he? Did he get all three pins?
Yeah, Jay, what was it? Two of them are back to back, right?
Shark Boy and Doring are back to back.
Well, there's a big reason this all happens.
Good. Set it up, Bill.
Prime time comes out.
Big push for you.
Match. And he cuts a promo.
Yeah.
He did it.
Yeah, he comes and then it just kind of takes everyone by surprise.
Yeah.
But it's so you think and Skipper takes out everyone but Michael Shane. Mm-hmm. Michael Shane's on the outside, so he doesn't get taken out. So then he just super kicks everybody but Shark Boy.
Mm-hmm.
Little show, J-Bone style. He's able to block it. But then he winds up getting the fisherman suplex.
Fisherman DDT.
Fisherman DDT, that was cool.
That was
a cool move. Yeah, that was a cool move.
Really cool.
So, but then that Sharky goes down to that.
Yeah. Now, Jay, I know Jay wrote down what happened at the commentary table, though. Jay, I know you wrote down what happened there.
Yeah, this is what I referred to earlier. This is the part that made zero sense. Elix Skipper comes out there. I don't think he had his scale with him because he's been doing that scale thing.
Yeah.
He came out there, kicked everyone's ass, grabbed the mic, jumped up on the commentary table, and called out the guy who was just sent home.
Jerry Lynn. Yes.
What? I was like, wait, did someone not tell him that he didn't make it in the building tonight?
Well,
I'm
does say he does say you're too scared to face me. I mean, so they're like, does this lead to him being in cahoots with Callis somehow?
That's what it seems like. Yeah.
You know, Callis kicked him out. He's like, oh, you're too scared to show up.
But I do like it week by week, punk by punk.
Yeah.
Until you come back, Jerry Lynn.
What a push though for Elix here. I liked it. He looked good, man.
I just cracked up. I'm like,
but the best part, and then you guys wrote this in your notes. I see. The best part was when he finishes talking, he throws the mic, and Mike Tenay on commentary goes, "Don't throw that microphone at me." He just fucking lost it, man. Like I love Angry Tenay. There's an Angry Tenay later in this show that's epic. Angry Tenay. I love Angry Mike. That to me could be a highlight reel. He's so fucking great.
Both of these guys are so good together and on their own.
Oh,
the commentary team is really top notch.
Yeah.
It is, man. Now I got an issue with the next segment here, guys. So it's Scott Hudson, your buddy.
He was all around a lot this episode again.
Yeah, he is. With Eric Watts. Talks about the main event, hypes up what's going to happen. Russo handcuffed him and everything.
He just left watching Spider-Man.
Yes, but here's a weird thing, though. Here's a weird thing he says. He goes, first time in the history of the NWA title, it gets up for grabs in a steel cage. Right? First time in history. Well, the first thing I said was Starrcade 83, the first Starrcade. It's Ric Flair and Harley Race for the NWA title in a cage. I was like,
well, there you go.
That Harley was on the show
I think
last week.
he didn't say NWA-TNA.
Did he say NWA-TNA?
He didn't say it, but I think that's what he was supposed to.
Probably referring to like under this brand.
The cue card was a little out of sight.
Okay, because I was like, my notes say Starrcade 1. Anyone? Like that was a cage match.
You're coming off a high, Eric, and now you blew it. You blew it.
Know, right? We bigged you up so huge last week, Watts.
You got Siaki'd.
He got Siaki.
What an asshole.
What an age! He was not on the show, was
they
he?
They did mention him, but
did they mention him? What happened to Siaki on this? What did they say?
Well, that he's not allowed to be there, right?
Okay.
It was during the AJ D'Lo recap stuff.
Oh yeah.
He was barred. Trinity was barred.
Promo, and that ace hole ain't coming out.
I'm shocked that they didn't film a backstage segment just to keep Monty, just to keep the face out there, just a video pack, something to put him in. So he's seen, like, try to get in the building.
There's so much going on this show. So many video packages.
Yeah.
Multi-man matches. There's a lot of people crammed into this episode. Well, every episode right now, but especially this one a bunch.
The next one's hot. So Bill set this next one. This is ECW guys all around this. So I'll let you set this one up. You're the Philly guy.
Oh, let's see. So we go from Eric Watts. I just got to say, because freaking Hudson says great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah.
Spider-Man Mark.
Rip Uncle Ben.
All right. So here we get Shane in the promo, and my notes, as we like to always say, I put next to Shane, dialed up to 11. Shane, take that for what you will.
His eyes are bugging out of his head, and he's all
I'm a little worried about Shane during this promo, honestly. Because
this is the peak of his painkiller addiction, man.
Like you can tell it's sad to highlight it too much because it's really obvious right here, and it's not good. He
said it himself on his show.
Because I know Shane, and Shane could always cut a killer promo, but this is like Shane, and it's like under the like it's he's got the skilled promo, but it's very awkward to watch because he's definitely on something. He's tweaking bad. It's a real bad.
He looked intense though. He looked.
It is intense. But you're right. His eyes are out of his head.
Psychotic. Yeah,
it's psychotic. This whole thing.
The shirt was great though. That leopard print shirt. I was like,
the leopard print. I don't know if do we ever see him before or after wear leopard print?
Never. I've never seen him do this. Maybe WCW. Maybe during that last run WCW.
Yeah. So. Like I said, it's still a good promo. It's just watching it's a little uneasy. But then Raven comes in after a bit with what is a body bag. You're not sure at first what it is.
Not sure.
It's kind of all, but he hits him, Raven effect. But then you get James Mitchell, the new church on this. Well, I don't know if the crowd actually saw it at first because you hear it, but nobody knows how to react. So I don't know if there was actually video or if there's just reaction to audio. Maybe it's delayed. Maybe it's delayed.
The video didn't kick in right away, maybe. Yeah.
So eventually, though, then obviously we're seeing it. But he's got Alexis and Julio tied up like in chairs at the new church, and he has to. The question for Raven is he can continue to beat on Shane or he can try to save his buddies. And James Mitchell's like, are you going to make the moral decision? And he does. He decides to go in the back and try to save the flock.
Don't forget though, Brian Lee J Bones walking around with a torch, with a flaming fucking torch.
Yeah, that's intense. Yeah. I keep thinking he's about to do it, but James Mitchell has a great line here. He's like,
oh yeah, great line. Got it written down too.
Yeah, follow the smell of the burning flesh. And hold on, it's right
a great hand here.
I got too many notes for this episode.
Oh, I got it's a great line.
Yeah. And don't forget to bring the marshmallows.
Yeah, it was awesome. Good shit. Raven does go though. He runs off. He makes the
very un-Raven like in his whole run here.
Yeah. So that was interesting. That was Mark. Any take on that?
No, I thought it was really cool too. That torch scared the shit out of me. It's like 3 feet long.
Huge.
It
seemed like he was close, unless they were using creative camera angles.
That they were. So this is the part. I don't typically do a lot of rewinding, but I rewound this one a couple times because I thought the same thing. I was like, holy shit, he's really close to burning Julio. And so I rewound it, and it does. It looks like he's actually further back, but
there's probably a couple feet there, but it looks like he's like.
I thought he's right there,
right on top of him. It's super scary.
No kidding.
Yeah, and then he like turns it and points it at like between them, and
that's when you can tell the camera angle, because when he turns the torch from an upright position, you can see he's actually a little bit further away. But it's like, damn, man, that must have been hot as shit and scary as hell in that little confined like closet, wherever they are, like a backstage behind the cage or something.
Yeah, and he didn't have a lot of room to move. So he starts twisting it around and turning. I'm like, all right, someone's getting toasty here.
Yeah, and you got 5 people in this tiny little space, and it's all wood, isn't it? They're surrounded by is it wood and metal?
There's a lot of wood.
There's a lot of wood in there. Yeah. Where are they?
I don't know what that is. I couldn't tell you. Maybe
a craftsman of TNA.
I'm thinking maybe it's like an auxiliary trailer or a storage thing.
Yeah, like a storage thing under the stands or something, because it's really narrow and wooden.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it before in the asylum, so I didn't know where it was.
Narrow and wooden? You could be talking about half the roster.
Oh, hey. Shit, maybe Bill's in the treehouse today. I don't know what's going on.
Bill, what's going on over there? What's behind you?
We get Scott Hudson with Larry Zbyszko, living legend, is there.
It's a long interview, too. It's long. Yeah,
talking about Kid Kash and just it went long. It went long for no reason.
Well, it starts with Scott Hudson trying to cut the. My words here are "shut up, Scott." Larry can cut his own promo because he comes in. He's telling for some reason, I don't know if he thought Larry didn't have it that night or something, because he goes in and pretty much cuts a promo before Larry even starts talking. He's like, "You're going to do this to him, right, Larry?"
Like, you gotta walk the old man through it, gotta walk the old man through.
You show some respect to the legend there, Hudson.
Larry Legend still got it. He looks good, actually. He's still rocking trunks like the old school Zbyszko.
That gimmick that he's been able to pull that off for like 30 years.
It is the same character.
Yeah.
He was a living legend when he was like 28. He was going by the living legend gimmick.
Was he the final AWA champion?
He was.
He was
final
the last.
Was married to Vern Gagne's daughter also at the same time.
Yeah.
He was the final one. That's Larry Zbyszko. Then he went to WCW, did the whole Dangerous Alliance. Had a great run after that.
Dude,
Dangerous Alliance.
WCW shit is fantastic.
And then he became commentator. But he goes in, has a match with Kid Kash after that.
I liked this match, by the way.
Yeah, it had heat. Kid Kash is a great antagonist. If you're a story person, he's an antagonist, huh, Jay?
Oh yeah. Yeah, this was good. He said in his promo before the match, he's like, it's time to teach this kid a lesson. It's time for him to go. So it's like he's like, all right, he's been disrespect because it's all off of how he's been disrespecting the legend. So it's just continuing that storyline, but it's also building his heel character. It's also building on the Abyss. And I noticed here, I think this was the first time they actually called Abyss's finisher the Black Hole Slam.
Yeah, they're not yes hole. And no. The actual quote is after he does the slam, and I'll get into the horrible spot there.
It was not good.
Yeah, that was rough.
Today goes, he drives him into a black hole.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah,
but it's right. But I'm sure after this week, then it's the Black Hole Slam.
You are absolutely right. That's very true. That's exactly right. That's and I'm curious next week if he's on next week and he hits it next week.
Yeah, if now it's there or if it takes a little while. I don't know.
That's great.
This is definitely the birth of it. I'm giving it. This is the first.
I like that. I like note that down. Stamp 57 as the timestamp for that saying. We'll see what happens with that. I'm very curious.
Let me draw a small comparison here with what they're doing with Doring now too, right? Not speaking very little of time. We're getting more out of Doring, but like I hope they go this route for a while with the Abyss. I know it's starting to ramp up now. We've got a name, we've got a move name, we've seen 2 moves. Does anyone remember when he debuts? What pay-per-view he debuts at in ring?
You're talking Joe Doring or Danny Doring?
No,
Doring.
No. I'm sorry. Abyss. Well, I was saying it reminds me of what they're doing with Doring now, right? That very slow monster, like not revealing much. He doesn't talk, just a single move here or there. Now Doring's had a match. When are we going to get an Abyss match? Does anyone remember? I like the slow play, and I want it to continue like this.
Because Jay, what Abyss debuted, we did the review, obviously. I think he debuted on 53, I want to say. Because we
something like that.
We kept saying it took a year. We can't believe it took a year. It took a year in. We kept saying that. I think
that when he's in the cage with Goldilocks?
It was 52 or 53.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, then he's not at an official match yet. So that'll be interesting to see. Very interesting to see.
That's what I'm wondering. I'm wondering when we're going to get this Abyss match.
Maybe it's next. Maybe it could be next week because they've basically put him in. He's gotten involved enough now.
Yeah, I feel like it's in the next couple weeks.
Okay. Here's the interesting thing I want to bring up for Bill. Interesting that Kid Kash was the antagonist to the Legends this whole time. Remember when he comes back though in 2013-14? That's his character. He's the Legend who's getting fucked with, and that's the problem.
Hey, it all comes full circle.
I love it. I mean, you look at it like that. Genesis, like the genesis of it, he becomes the bitter veteran and starts just I think Joey Matthews, speaking of Christian York. It was Christian York at the time.
Christian York.
Beat the fuck out of Christian York in 2013. That's a very...
Hey, speaking of Christian York.
Look at that gut check t-shirt. That's... Man, what a
on
great
topic. Jeez.
Great underrated... Bill, you probably remember this one. Kid Kash and Christian York on Impact Thursday night. Oh my God. There's a match where he just fucking lights this kid up, man. I'm talking like I'm watching it and I thought that he owed Kash money or he like slept with his wife. I'm like, holy shit, man. This cannot be a word.
Kash did that with Trinity.
He's tough. Yeah. He was dating her at the time too. That was the best
beat
part.
The shit out of Trinity. My God.
Great feud. I love Kid Kash. I think he's commits to that character and he goes all in.
Intense as hell.
He's like that though. Like that's a shoot. You know, he's a very intense guy who believes in the respect of the business. He can't believe Ricky Morton's student. You know, he's got a crazy old school way of thinking here. I
mean, he's working Morton and Zbyszko. Clearly, the guy respects his traditions. And this match was a very Zbyszko style match too.
I definitely want. I mean, he was there last year, right? Bill, you saw him at the last tapings, basically.
Oh, Kid Kash, yeah.
And he was set to come back for that no place like home show. I mean, I keep Kid Kash in the mix. That's a guy you want as an agent or something. He knows it. He gets the psychology.
There's a reason they always go back to Kid Kash.
Yeah.
So like I think Scott realizes that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, because obviously ECW to the early TNA, but he made so many different and all the angles he always came back were good angles. Like he never really had a dud when he came back. So I'm all about Kid Kash. Because I was actually looking. I think he was going to be involved in some like little indie thing, like that maybe I could get to. I was like, oh, maybe I'll go see Kid Kash.
I'm telling you, the 2013 run, Mark and Jay. If you guys didn't see that, his 2013 run, where he's the grizzled, bitter veteran, and
totally opposite of what we're seeing now.
That's why we keep talking about it. Just the tie-in is amazing to me. The 10-year difference. It's 10 years from this that he comes back and it's just a great character.
I know I probably saw it, but I just don't remember it.
It's good.
I was not watching any wrestling at that time. I may have seen some in the flash with that, not offhand, but yeah.
Get on your Impact Plus. $8.
Oh, 20. Wait, is 2013 all on Impact Plus?
Good question. I don't know. Somebody check it
There
out.
is a time period near there that's missing.
Yeah.
From the
it's like 2008 to 2013 or 14.
They're adding them. Yeah, they're adding them in, but like it's kind of hit or miss. This is a really great time in the current Impact product, though, to talk about bringing Kid Kash back because the LOL TNA has been eliminated.
Mm-hmm.
Like now we're back to embracing TNA instead of trying to separate ourselves from it as an entity in terms of what Impact Wrestling is doing.
I agree.
Man, Kid Kash, great call to bring back right now. We only saw the one match in Atlanta, but it was a good match. You could still.
Yeah, it worked out for what they were doing. It was perfect.
Hey, remember, supposedly the ratings were great for that TNA special. So
it was very good.
People want to see. Good. Oh yeah, supposedly that's the whole reason. There was that talk about a second show being TNA for that one-off. Supposedly that was like their best ratings.
Really?
It was.
Does anybody know what the ratings were? I didn't know that.
I just know they were very, very happy with it. That's what the expression or the news was, that they're extremely happy with what happened.
Before they really were listing any numbers like we see now.
Yeah.
But supposedly that was near the tops at the time.
And they talked about doing like a Saturday morning TNA show or something. Which, listen, I wouldn't. You can call it Impact Wrestling Total Nonstop Action. Something like that.
Yeah. Hey, a Saturday morning wrestling show sounds amazing to me. Somebody do it.
I think
what I did before high school. I'd go over to my buddy's house on Saturday mornings and watch the classic small studio WCW stuff.
You guys are do the big ass bowl of cereal, like the mixing bowl.
That's what you got to do.
Not the regular bowl. I'm talking. You take the mixing bowl and 2-3 different cereals, right? And you just fucking go, man.
And then later on, a little bit later on in my youth, you got WWF Superstars too. So you had wrestling plus cartoons.
It was great. You start the block at 7 a.m. till noon. If you were really saucy, you watch NBA Inside Stuff with Ahmad Rashad.
I would always watch
Kindred Spirits. You and I, Bill. It's for you and me.
This Week in Baseball in the afternoon here. After wrestling is This Week in Baseball.
Twib
before the day game. Yeah, before the day game. Yep.
Little Mel Allen.
Good times.
Yeah,
good times.
Yeah, good times.
Well, apparently, just total side. Is a complete. One of the channels.
We're going to keep it to an hour tonight.
Yeah, I know. I said we're going to keep it an hour 15 tonight. We're halfway through the show right now. Some channels bringing back Saturday morning cartoons. What is this? I think it's one of the.
On Pluto, there's a whole channel called Saturday Morning.
Is that Pluto? Then I saw somebody bringing it back.
They show like Inspector Gadget. And Tales from the Crypt Keeper and like all that old stuff. Yeah, Saturday morning cartoons on Pluto. Check it out.
Good times. Good times. Zach Bonner for talking Memphis wrestling. That touches my heart right there. I like that. Memphis. I'm a big Memphis wrestling guy. That's Saturday morning stuff too. All right. So we got the rave. Okay, so here we are. So that match happens. Kid Kash and we spent a lot of time on Kid Kash and Abyss.
Kid Kash.
Bill, I'm going to go back to you for the next Raven spot here.
Oh, wait, I just got to say, because I mentioned it, but we didn't go over it.
Yeah.
The spot of the first Black Hole.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
It practically hits freaking Rudy Charles in the foot, and he doesn't acknowledge it.
No, I know. Yeah. Rudy is just.
Oh, yeah. I did write that. I wrote down Rudy - horrible.
It may have been the worst ref sell that I've ever seen. And this is Rudy Charles we're talking about.
Who's a TV ref today? At Top Game.
Which shows you that means absolutely nothing.
Exactly. Terrible. I'm shocked.
We love our referees, but these guys are so much. The guys like we see every week on Impact right now are so much better than the absolute shit that is Rudy Charles as a referee is unbelievable.
And who's the other guy that's always out there?
Andrew
not-
Thomas.
Andrew Thomas. Oh,
And who just recently was there
garbage.
is Mike Posey was big on this show.
Posey went between wrestling and well, Mike Posey wrestled on AEW like a year ago. From when
He's repping there now.
He's
right, yeah, and he's still getting his ass handed to him, which I was cracking up laughing. It was like Matt Hardy kicked his ass like a few months ago when he first returned to TV. And it was something that we had just seen him on the Throwback, like one of his first matches. We were talking about him reffing, and I was like, "Oh my god!" It's like almost 20 years ago or whatever it is, and he's still getting his ass kicked. It's cracked up laughing. Poor Posey.
Poor Posey, man. I gotta say, like you said, Bill, when you see the refs today, like Daniel Spencer, Baby Hebner. Our buddy Daniel, and then and Brandon Toll, like these guys are solid, goddamn refs.
Oh yeah,
they're not.
I'm not going to say like all refs are good today. There's bad refs today. There's a ref that was a big Ring of Honor ref, now an AEW ref. I think's awful. Paul Turner. Because he does this. This is his. Let's just go a 3 count. Ready? 1, 2. That's how he does.
You're right. Paul Turner's notorious for that. You're right.
What the hell is that?
Yeah.
Isn't that like first day wrestling school?
You are so right. Paul Turner really does do that. You're right. I'll tell you who's a great ref. I love speaking of Ring of Honor. I'm a big fan of Todd Sinclair. I think Todd's a great ref.
Well,
we got beef. We got heat. We got heat here.
No. I honestly don't have beef. But right after we did the explosion I believe, part 2 of Baby Hebner.
Yep.
He went off on Todd Sinclair.
I saw it on Twitter. There was a Twitter feud with Baby Hebner and Todd Sinclair. I don't know where that's stemming
from.
And
if I got to pick sides, I obviously got to go with Team TNA on this one.
Of course. But I don't know what that's.
But Todd Sinclair, because I was at a lot of those Philly shows, and they give that guy nonstop guff.
I remember he got a ton of heat. Like the fat jokes, but then he
when he 1 Twinkie, 2 Twinkie.
Yeah, it was bad. but when he took the kick to the face from El Generico, do you remember that spot where he almost got his head decapitated? He just got in the way. Something happened. They let up on him after that. I remember that was.
It sounds like though he's a talker. He's a yapper backstage.
That's what I'm hearing.
We don't like to see that, especially you don't do that if you're and not a knock, but if you're an official. If you're a referee, you kind of just like know your role, shut your mouth, as a great man once said.
I think he's a great ref, though. I also like Brian Gorey was a good ref too. He retired out. Gorey was a good ref. There's been a lot of good ones who I wish who stayed around because, man, you see some like we're only talking about is because a goddamn Rudy Charles. I cannot believe was senior official at this time. Unreal how much shit he fucks up in this show.
Oh, this isn't the only time in the show. It's later on in the show too. During the
oh, that's even worse.
Oh God, what is
Slick Johnson? That's my boy right there. I love me some Slick Johnson. They don't like.
Oh, it was the X Division match that's coming up.
Okay, let's get to it right now. Here's what we got: the Ravens segment when he gets to the back. So go ahead, go set this up here.
Yeah, so Ravens in the chapel of the new church.
That's a good way to put it. I like it.
Yeah, well, that's what they call it. They actually call it. Oh, well, so I'll actually give my mortal enemy, Hudson, credit for. I'm sure he was fed the line. That's what it was called, but that's he's the one that says, "Oh, I'm here in the chapel of the new church." But obviously Ravens freaking out. He's tossing stuff. At some point, I think he's about to hit Scott Hudson with something, and I was getting all excited, but he didn't. And then we go back to in the ring, and now James Mitchell in the dark. So timing a little off. Mm-hmm. It's a tough night with the cage match. I get it. So James Mitchell's originally in the dark with now you have them all tied up, laying in the ring. And then he says he's coming for him. So then Raven comes out. It's going against everyone. It's all kind of shenanigans in the ring right now. But then they wind up, I believe this is where, let's see. Let me just make sure.
Well, they all brawl. They're all in the ring. They'll get to the ring. They're brawling. Franchise, I got to say, I love Shane. That was probably the worst belly to belly he ever did. That was not good. It was really weak.
Like you said, this was not a good night for Shane.
No, something was off here, but he just kind of collapsed on him. It just felt like
it was just kind of quick turn and pivot, not even a full turn on the belly.
That shirt though was I think he raided the Rock's closet. I think that's what he did.
Definitely, or Monty's. That was a very Monty Brown T-shirt to me. You know, like Monty left it in the back or something. But I gotta say, Julio and Alex are tied up here. She was looking hot, man. Young Mickey James was sexy.
The camera angles were
very favorable camera angles here.
This almost feels dirty.
A little bit.
This is very
it's some good girl bondage.
Very S&M stuff going on right
There's
now.
fire, whips, and chains.
Dude, no, it's good girl bondage big time. I rewound the Alexis part.
Look, she looked hot. I can nod that. She looks sexy, man.
TNA Prison Nights Part 5.
Yes, yeah, probably. That's what happens after dark at the asylum. But it's just a number. Julio gets free at one point here and starts at the little hope spot, and then they just take him down. So we get the Mad Mikey video.
Do you think Julio got loose by accident? Do you think that was
so.
like,
totally think so. Because it was so out of nowhere.
Yes.
I was like, what the hell? But
stay down.
But Jay, go ahead, set up the Mad Mikey's. This is like J-Bone when he doesn't have his coffee. It's like J-Bone between 7 a.m. and 10.
Oh, this is me every single morning. It's just stay out of my way. Just take the alarm clock, smash it with the hammer. I popped for that. I was like, oh my God, hold it, smash. he's like trying to put dents in his car. He's still pissed off at his roommates. You know, like everything that has his name on it is either, half drank or missing or whatever. I'm trying to think of all the little things. It was just
his roommates drinking the orange juice. Bottle from the fridge.
Right. Yeah, and then he's body slamming another roommate for something else, and it's just a riot. It's just building up this goofy Mad Mikey character. Yeah, it was fun.
The films are great. The silent film stuff is brilliant to me. I didn't appreciate it then like I appreciate it now.
I love these. I love both of these.
It's so funny.
It's a quirky, different break from the entire show because old Asylum TNA is bloody, it's violent, it's nonstop, it's over the top, it's loud. And these Mad Mikey bits are just something so different, and he sells them really well. They're hilarious. I laugh at them. I love them. It's sad to think we don't get too many of them.
I love it, man.
It's necessary. Like whether you like it or not, it's necessary, and it's the same as today. It's like because you got a little bit of everything. You got your tag team wrestling, you got your X Division stuff, you got your ultra violence, the women doing whatever,
Yeah, a lot going on, man. It was fun though. But this is the offices, right, Bill? This is the office.
Yeah, this is where it's the TNA. They show the street, and I know someone asked, "Is it still there?" The office is still there, like that. That suite is still there. But TNA hasn't been in their Impact for a long time.
Was it literally just like a little office in a big office complex, Bill, or was it?
It's like a street of office suites, and they had one of them.
They had a floor. They had a floor of it. Yeah.
Okay, so you couldn't tell from that, like it didn't say like a TNA or anything.
But there was a sign.
They had like little signs, and it would be like TNA wrestling. There was a sign for it, so you could tell it wasn't innocuous. I know sometimes there were some gimmicks where people were taking pictures outside there.
Like Finn Balor showed up, took a picture in front of it and stuff, just to fuck with people. But actually, if you want a little view of it, because they had the office floor, and then the basement was Shop TNA at the time. That's where Shop TNA used to be because they had the dock. You could see all of it in the Christmas ad. 2011, maybe 10 Christmas ad that they did, where they're really funny Christmas ad where Homicide's fulfilling Shop Impact orders and Joe's kicking them into the FedEx truck and Velvet Sky's hosting it around and Homicide's yelling at the customer and then AJ's like, "Where's my belt?" And you're like, we shipped your belt. And he's like, "You shipped my belt." And she's like fucking great commercial. Holiday commercial is great. They Bill, you remember those for like 3 years? They were doing the great Shop Impact holiday commercial, 50% off.
I'd love to see some more because obviously we do the watch along each week, and they have kind of the, I hate to say generic Shop Impact commercial, but they used to have fun with them. Like I'd like to say a lot like the ESPN commercials of the time. Like they went comedy and they did this, but then even as they get later and they do a lot of stuff like the knockouts and stuff, like a little comedy, but sexy too. Angle they go, but they're amusing. That helps sell product.
It does.
Not a bad idea. Like the one thing, no matter what, and we like him as an announcer, but Don West is a natural salesman. And that's something that they really need, a face to kind of do that along with. I think it's a great way to sell product. Like you don't see it in wrestling, like obviously up north, down south, pro wrestling tees, all these ones, they just merch, buy it. You're a wrestling fan. You cannot control yourself. You must buy merch. That's all we need to do.
Damn it. Right.
But that's kind of what they do. They don't need to kind of have gimmicks to sell it anymore. But here they did. It was fun. Impact had a fun way of doing it. And I'd like to see that return. That's not a bad thing to bring back.
I would, because I'll tell you what, Don West, and Bill, you know this from the old house shows, he'd get out there and he'd hype merch, and you turn around and there'd be 200 people in line to buy a T-shirt.
I'll tell you, when he made his comeback, when he came back with Jarrett, he was doing that, they cleared out all that old merch they had. Tons. He in whatever it was, like 2 months, cleared out like 5 years of stuff that was sitting on the shelves.
Wow. Yeah, just from Don Hyde manning it.
The guys,
good, man.
And they had some other ones. I know they had like Jimmy J. He did a decent job doing it.
Terrible.
And like Tony, obviously he did a good job behind the scenes doing it. But they need that. It's not as easy for Impact to sell merch as maybe some other companies. It's just the base is smaller, so you gotta get creative, and that's what Don West. Because I remember I've said it before, like. I'd watch his shows with sports memorabilia with my dad. We bought like baseball bats off the guy years before this.
Same.
That's awesome.
Comics, same.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, he was good. He was very good. He could sell ice to an Eskimo, man. The guy just knew what he was doing. That at the live shows, Jay, he'd get it out there, and I swear to God, man, you would just see he starts talking, and people would just flock. He's like, I'll be at the merch booth right now. God damn it. If you want to come take a picture with me and buy this shirt, I'll fucking take 3 of them. I only got 2 kids.
Now you walk by the merch table at an Impact show and it's in a dark corner, tucked away. Like
they've been better with it though. They were better. like Bill, you remember at like Hard to Kill and at the
Bound for Glory was good. It was
good.
Yeah, they had like 3 tables.
Yeah. And then the baseball, the stadium, that little like bar show they did the night before, they had a huge merch set up.
Yeah, no, and I will say there was, because I was at the events, and it's kind of, we can get into a long thing about it, but obviously by them being based at Orlando, they couldn't sell merch.
That was what fucked me up, man.
So that's what kind of got them away from knowing how to do live event merch. So then when they did do live events, there were shows where they didn't even bring merch. They had no merch. Then they started bringing a little bit, but not a lot.
Because they were using all the third party.
Better and better.
They went to the
because they would be like, whoever's local, you'll do the merch. Yeah. Then they started actually doing it themselves. So right now their merch game's decent. Like live event, it's like, but like I said, it's like you would see up north, down south, set it up. Your standard merch. But I'm a fan. I like gimmicks. So I think the gimmicks are a great way because you're going to get that person that wasn't there to buy something. But they figure like you're a wrestling fan, you're going to buy a shirt just because you're an idiot. But
I got to work the Impact merch table in Indiana. Bill came up to me. He's like, "What are you working this now too? What are you doing over here?" I like stumbled into it, but I made them put everything up. I think Bill even commented. I pulled out like some old, like one of the women's, like the women's T-shirts that never get sold at the merch table. And I think Bill even came like, "You even got the women's shirts up here?"
They won't sell it. Gotta put them up to sell them.
I told them, I said, I'm putting everything out, putting all.
Honestly, it started getting good when they started doing Vegas because they were putting it out there in Vegas. They were having a good merch selection.
That's awesome. Yeah. All right, let's keep going here, boys. We can talk about. We can do a whole show on merch. Actually, we should. The New York. Well, they're not calling the New York Connection at this point, but it's Simon and Swinger with Glen, with Hudson again in the back. Glen's got a cowboy hat on, cuts a promo on AMW. They attack him. AMW runs up, attacks him, starts beating them out, beating him around, dragging him around outside, drag him inside they brawl, but Simon and Swinger get the advantage, and then they start whipping them back with the straps. So this is a hot feud. I forgot how hot this feud was. Stolen belts, whipping going on. Because we even get one more. We even get one more tie into this feud later on at night here. So we'll get to that in a second. We go from that Sabin and Kaz recap. Just thought about the feud. There's another hot feud going on for several weeks, and now it's the title match. So Sabin taking on Kaz, X-Division title.
God.
And go ahead, Jay. Go ahead. We talked a lot about merch. Poor Jay had to sit there.
It's all right. This freaking match of the episode.
Yeah.
Ooh, close. That main event, man.
Go ahead, Jay. It's Jay's opinion. Go ahead, Jay. Don't let these guys bully you here.
These guys. No, that cage match was crap.
Ooh.
Except for the Fuji dust spot. That was hilarious. I popped for that. The Fuji dust.
Okay, boomer.
Who pulled the trigger on OK Boomer?
Oh yeah, these guys, man, they started out hot. This was violent. This match looked stiff as hell. They were just going 100 miles an hour just from the start, just whipping the shit out of each other. It was amazing.
Again, two guys still in the game today.
Dude, book this match fucking now.
You could do this. This match could happen today if there's a crossover
today and be both of these guys work a slower, more methodical style now, but they're both 10 times better now than they were here. And they were fucking awesome here, but they have so much experience now. Like in this match, there was a spot where Sabin does like a side suplex release into a buckle bomb. It scared the shit out of me because we know what the buckle bomb has done to so many people. This is back before that move even existed. This may be the first invention of the buckle bomb. I don't know. But that suplex scared the living shit out of me. But Kaz popped right up and kept going. These guys were just machines.
Yeah, it took him a minute, but yeah, he did. Yeah.
I mean, he wobbled a bit, but he got up and kept going because, like, when he hits the second turnbuckle right low, and his head snaps back, and I thought,
a little dangerous, huh? A little scary at times. You can get a little scary.
Completely blind release suplex into the turnbuckles is scary as shit.
Yeah.
You would think some companies might ban that move.
You think.
It did look fucking dope, though. I'm glad no one was hurt. It looked
no, they'll never know.
So cool.
So Jay, we got your favorite dust. A bunch of there's like more than one dusty finish here.
That's where I think we're all having issues with J-Bone saying how great the match was.
The finish.
We saw some great matches over the last couple of weeks, but the finishes just kill it. And that's the thing. I'll let that kill the match. It was a great match until the finish.
Yeah,
I counted 6 false finishes last week.
The end, I wrote down LOL. Yeah, because I was like, and nude. Nope, LOL.
Yeah.
Freaking, this is what I was talking about. Freaking Rudy shows up. He's like, I'm just taking the belt home because I want something shiny underneath my pillow.
Rudy, if he was doing his acting classes right now, they weren't paying for what he was giving out here. So he may have been the worst TV actor of all time.
I want to hear Bill review every single referee ever in wrestling. That's what I want to hear.
Hey, that's not a bad little gimmick either. Actually, that's a little good one to talk about referee.
Bill knows his fucking referees, man.
From what we saw here, Jay, Kaz won the belt. Then the refs argue because there was a belt shot involved here.
Well, first he lost with the belt shot.
I was like writing. I was in the middle of writing down. I was like, oh yeah, Kaz got his first X-Division chip. Wait, what the hell's going on now?
Yeah, because Sabin wins it on the belt shot. Restart from Andrew Thomas. Kaz comes in, but Andrew Thomas counts to 3. Rudy Charles comes in and says, nope, he wasn't the legal referee. I'm taking it to Eric Watts to make an official decision. So is the belt held up? Mr. Watts. Is the belt held up at this point? They don't say, right?
They don't say it's held up.
So we're going to find out next. We're going to find out next week, I think.
Well, they don't even know when. They're like, what? Don West is like, well, what's the result? What are we going to know?
I gotta say though, guys, I think this got stretched out too much. Like this should have been the change. This has been going on with screwy finishes for like one match too many. You know what I mean? Like I get it. Like the first couple
with Sabin, yeah.
Sabin and Kaz, I get it. The first few he fucks him, right? He fucks him out of it. And I get it. Like, son of a bitch. When am I going to get that? Now it's like, you got the match. This is it. This should have been the title change.
But in this match, Sabin had some nuclear heat at times, and probably because of all that bullshit. You know, so this is one more. Let's see what they look like next. Let's see what the crowd reacts to next week. I agree. I'm okay with them keeping it on Sabin. This probably should have been the switch, but let's give it one more week and see what happens. This finish was shit.
It's just too much.
There's a good chunk of that crowd, though, and I don't even think it's the heel section. There's a good chunk of that crowd that is just all in on Sabin, no matter what he does.
Yeah, the Hail Sabin crew,
very similar to how, like, there's a portion of the crowd every week, no matter what AJ does, they are all in on AJ Styles, cheering the hell out of him, no matter how big of a heel, no matter how far up Russo's ass he is, they don't care.
You're touching on homegrown right there, J-Bo.
That's it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Also, that heel section group, I think I mentioned before, those guys were from the Chicago and Milwaukee area, and they would take the road trips because, like, keep in mind, there was always a car coming from the Midwest going down to Nashville. That's where CM Punk was in that car. A lot of the guys on Explosion, you know, like that Colt worked an Explosion match. You know, my buddy Danny Daniels worked an Explosion match. Ryan Boz, all these guys from the Midwest were doing Explosion, extra shit, you know, at the time. So there was always a Midwest car. So these guys were like, they all knew them. They would follow car caravan down together. So there was a Midwest group always going down. And then I started seeing those heel section guys up here at the Indies in Chicago. I'm like, aren't you the fucking guys from the sound? Like, so, like, it was a whole, they had t-shirts and everything. It was fucking weird.
That's crazy. There's a group in Wisconsin that does that too, but they're called something else.
I saw them. Yes, I know what you're talking about, Jay. I saw them at the Turner Hall. And
I saw them at the it was Jarrett's show when he was doing the stadium tour around, it was like 5 years ago.
They're called like first row something or front row somethings or something. They got it. I know exactly. There's some, but they're kind of
gave themselves their own gimmick.
They
front row douche squad something.
They're dicks though. They're total assholes though. That's the thing. They're not even like fun.
It's like bad name. You come showing your own gimmick. It's like, but it's not really even a gimmick. It's
it's weird. I don't like those guys. But,
sons of bitches.
All right, so after this match, this is where we get the time stall, right, Bill? This is this start the clock right here because this is the cage pop up now because we go to the 3 Live crew in the trailer park.
Yeah.
So we got 3 Live crew in the trailer park. Mark hates these, but
I actually fast forwarded through it this time because I
creepy guy looking at himself.
I don't know. This was not up to snuff with their previous segments.
I got about a minute into it and I was like, I can't do this.
Well, if you notice, this was the one where they're like, "See you next week" in the asylum because they had nothing left at this point.
Oh yeah. This is. I feel like they almost maybe made this decision earlier that day. It's like, we need another segment from you guys, and they're like, who's high enough to come out with a segment right now? And it's like, let's go with this.
So this was the point of the show. This was the point of the show where we hit the one too many of everything, right?
Yes, yeah. This honestly was awful.
Yeah.
We're gonna see Scott Hudson again too.
What were you gonna say?
That freaking guy that was working on the car, and then he's like chasing everyone around the trailer park, and he's like all rubbing on himself. And it was like
weird.
Beyond creepy. And then Truth starts chasing him, and I'm like, wait, what are they? What the hell? It was like a bad dream. And then
so weird.
There was like a Leonard Skinner moment where Conan had a wig on and a boombox. Like,
it was playing the highlight, Sweet Home Alabama music
version.
It was a horrible version of that. Yeah.
It's such a music version. But interestingly enough, it was completely filler. I mean, this was like Bill said, it's just, we need one more, but the cage is going up now because we cut right from that to Daniels now, Bill. Go set this up. Daniels in the crowd now.
And as Rex says, crowd is having none of this delay.
Yeah.
But Daniels is the bright spot during this delay, honestly. Mm-hmm. He comes out, and earlier, Elix, good. It killed the match, honestly. His promo killed the match. It was a decent promo by him, but he killed the match momentum. But when you see the tag team split into singles now, this was star Chris Daniels here.
Mhm.
Like you're seeing, wow, that guy was in a tag team this whole time, not talking.
Yeah.
He was letting Russo and Sports Entertainment Extreme talk for him. This guy is freaking gold on the mic. How did this happen? And he's there. He's just, I don't know if he's the one that kind of pitched it. He's like, let me be a guy that's going to take this. Because I see it on indie shows today. I was at a GCW show, and they had 20 minutes to burn, and Joey Janela just starts running the ring ropes and gets gassed in 2 minutes. Like this, you have to have a plan here if you have to kill time. And Daniels, he did a great promo here.
It was long.
It was long. It was long. And I'm sure they said you have as much time as you want, Chris.
Well, this is where Daniels, I bet, is a genius, because he's looking at how far of progress they're getting to in the ring.
Oh, he's seeing. I think they struggled, honestly. They do a good job not showing the guys working much in the cage, but you could tell it gets longer. So there was a struggle at some point.
Because he starts repeating a couple things, stretching them out, and you're like,
It's smart though to have him come in through the crowd. It changed the camera.
that's genius. That's
just
brilliant,
really
actually, because you don't take the focus out. It's not on the ramp. It's in the crowd where it looks.
It was
nice.
natural too.
Yeah,
very natural.
But there's a key. He does do a slip here, and I'm gonna get Kyle to get the bite.
Yes, please. I know what you have.
An hour and 14 minutes in, the file TNI.
Yes. I literally wrote down defile TNI. He says TNI
instead of TNA.
Shit.
Instead of TNA.
What 148?
114.
114.
He kind of like, it's almost like, like sometimes you just slip on a letter or an X. You kind of just you're blending.
We had it
words.
earlier with Watts. He said, but you know what? Actually, Rex said he did say TNA, NWA-TNA. So
it sounds like he said TNI, because I wrote the same.
Oh, he definitely
thing
said TNI here. He definitely said TNI here.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
I absolutely had to read the same note down. Jay, I want you to go back and watch that too. He says TNI. I'm telling you, I wrote.
So that's definitely going to be our go-to throwback.
Yeah,
he might be the ending of the song.
I'm probably going to clip it right now to send to Kyle.
That's awesome. Yeah, please clip that. Yeah. They got a plant. He's jawing with a couple fans. He starts yelling at some little kid. Then he got.
That's why I said plants were in this show.
Yeah, because he got the plant in there. The plant threw a drink on him, and he beat the shit out of the plant. But I gotta say, they made it look natural. The way Jarrett comes out and security comes out, it almost looked like for a split second, I thought, I'm like, oh shit, was that a shoot? That guy go too far? Because what's up?
And I got another new Impact Plus error. I'm sorry to interrupt like that, but it just popped up. Has anyone ever seen this title is not available on this device?
Refresh it.
Yeah, refresh it. Yeah, it gets lost in the sauce.
Okay, that's a new one to me, because I've been having app issues, but not that one.
No, that's just a refresh thing.
Okay.
And it sounds like Rex. He probably knows for a fact something was wrong with the cage.
Yeah, Rex has the inside take on this.
He does.
But yeah, I think something was, because it was taking way too long. Even the way Jarrett was stalling, when Jarrett comes out, Daniels runs out.
Well, you know this. Have you guys run cage matches at AAW?
Yeah, we have. Takes a while.
It takes a while, but usually maybe 20 minutes.
20 minutes. That's where you do like your bonus intermission before the cage.
Yeah.
Match. That's the idea. You get,
which they don't have here. But this went like 30 minutes. They went like 10 long.
Yeah, you went 10. Those 10 feel like 20 more, Yeah. But at indie shows, indie shows use a very basic cage. It's the four sides, and they just use the zip ties, not the zip ties, but those straps. It just, the cage is literally just there for an indie show, but so they're able to get it up a little faster. But it's considered a bonus intermission. But you don't have, this is pay-per-view. You have to fill it with content. But when
they went to TV tapings, they would always kick off a show with a cage match.
It's easier.
And then disassemble it after match one.
That's the way to do it.
All right, so I just listened to that segment back. He absolutely does say defile TNI.
Yeah.
I can't get it to work on my phone. I don't know what's going on.
That's awesome. We got it. We got that. Get that sound bite.
That's a bite.
That is definitely
awesome. A bite. My notes here say that he leaves, so then challenges. Jarrett comes out, kind of challenges Daniels. Redshirt security now, the thorn in his side, come out. and he kind of challenges them. So they're in the, I think they're in the ring at this point.
Yes.
Black shirt comes out, tries helping it out. He's there. I really wrote down black shirt security can't do shit
because they fucking suck. They're all like 4-1.
I love the one guy, the Palmer of this era. Bill, you see that guy? You got Northcutt behind him. He's like, get off of me. He's like, get off of me. And then Northcutt's like, get the fuck out of here.
Dude, Northcutt's a giant.
I'm shocked that guy didn't get bigger than this. It blows my mind.
That guy looks like a star. Maybe he just
looks like a star.
Maybe he sucks shit in the ring like endlessly and just could never get better or something. I don't know. But
they eventually start wrestling. So you're gonna see him.
Well, they wrestle the black shirts, don't they? If I remember correctly.
They start. I mean, there's more. You're in for a shock if you don't remember what happens with them.
I don't remember what happens with them.
But I gotta say, it's
no spoilers.
I gotta say, his look is he's a cool looking guy. He's a mean dude. You know, you're like, damn, this guy should be a star.
He's jacked. I mean, he looks like
huge.
I'm just like, I don't know what happened with him. I don't know why he didn't go further. Maybe he rubbed people the wrong way. Who knows?
Yeah.
But Daniels kind of sneaks back into the ring at this point, and then he takes out Jarrett. So the feud's on. Now, what pisses me off, thinking back to all this era, because Mark, you texted me about this. Why didn't Daniels ever get the belt? Whether in this era, I think he should, in the TNA era and the Spike era, it was a crime that he never got the title. Yeah. He was a absolute guy ready to take the belt, and he never gave him the belt. And it just blows my mind. I mean, title matches, and he's had them. They never pulled the trigger on him. And that's why he left the first time. Bill, you remember that? He leaves to go back to Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
And then he comes back with kind of a darker gimmick. He has a thing around his eye and all that. That's the second run. He does leave because of that frustration. He's like, well, fuck this. I'm like, nothing's happening here. They just, Superman Jarrett threw him up with the title on. I don't know what it was, but
that's definitely a missed opportunity. A lot of this early TNA, they take too long with these, which I get, because I'm probably one that always, no matter who the company is, but especially with this one, will say, and I'm a patient guy, but I always feel like there is a time you gotta look at it when you're gonna get the max out of these results, and there becomes a time where it becomes too late. Yeah, you did it, but you kind of lost momentum doing it that late, and that's a crime of early TNA.
Yeah,
when Ring of Honor put the title on Daniels, it was a little too late. It was 20.
Oh, it was definitely too late when he got there.
Yeah. It was cool. I remember popping for it. It was awesome that he got it, but it was like 2015.
But half the storyline was like how old he was.
Right? It was the old man that finally got it. Oh, the old guy. It was like a month-long reign only. It was just a token.
He was kind of like the Tommy Dreamer of Ring of Honor at the time.
Exactly. My text comment to Trent was, I think Daniels is one of the best wrestlers that's never held a world title, like Razor Ramon, Chris Daniels, or Scott Hall, Chris Daniels. Like
I was happy. I was happy he at least got the Ring of Honor belt to put him in that category, because it was like, God damn it, man. He deserved it. He was a top guy.
Well, let's just go crazy fantasy book right here.
Yeah.
No Surrender this Saturday. Tommy Dreamer, Rich Swann. All of a sudden, Daniels comes out.
Oh shit!
Like, where's my title shot?
I never got the one I never got.
I'd be fucking here for it.
Oh, 100%. You put that
all day.
Chris Daniels to me was a draw. He was the first. Keep in mind, he was one of the first indie guys of like the modern indie era who was making He was making six figures on the indies in like the late 90s before like the indie boom. And he was no TV. He had like the one match in WCW where
he had a WCW match.
He had an opening match, and it was a tryout, and he fucking nearly broke his neck in that match. It sucked. He had Dark Master W. He was in the mix on all companies, ECW, W. Nobody fully signed him. He was making indies up and down. Bill probably saw him 1,000 times in the East Coast. He was up and down the Super 8 tournaments, Bill, all that shit. He was like the one indie guy you'd always hear about. It was like Chris, the Fallen Angel. He was everywhere.
Wow.
Coast to coast guy.
Yeah.
He was awesome, man.
Back when nobody was doing that.
He was the one guy. He was
he was the guy right before, because then Danielson became that guy right after that.
Okay.
And then like that indie boom started coming around.
Yeah.
All those guys started popping up, like Colt and Punk and that whole crew.
Yeah, but he was doing it in the 90s.
He was doing it in the late 90s.
Steve.
Mike Daniels was.
Yeah.
He was doing it while WCW was still around. That was the thing.
That's nuts.
He's actually in the background. I mean, Beyond the Mat. If you ever watch Beyond the Mat, he's in the background at one scene warming up for his dark match during one of the Raw scenes. He's actually in the background with hair.
Oh, wow.
Oh, one of the Raw scenes? He was in WWE.
He had a dark match for the light heavyweight. Actually, I think it might have been televised for the light heavyweight title tournament.
No shit.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
He's got hair.
What hasn't he done?
I'm telling you, it's like you don't even celebrate the guy enough. That's how great he is.
He's so good.
But I met him early. I met him at like 99 at Windy City Pro Wrestling, where he trained actually. And I got not even 8x10. It was like an autograph, like maybe like a 6x9 or something. I don't know what the hell it was. It was small, not even like a 5x7.
Yeah.
With full hair. And I ran into him here in 14 at the square at the Challengers Comics, and then later on that night I saw him at the Squared Circle restaurant. But I remember I told him at Challengers, I go, I'm going to bring you something tonight at the restaurant. I mean, you gotta see this. It's something that you're gonna know. When I say I'm a big fan of yours, you're gonna know why. So I brought it over. I went home. I said, you gotta see it. And it was one of his original promo pics, full hair, signed. He goes, holy shit. He goes, how the hell did you get this? I'm like, off of you. You told me you're trying to get me to buy a shirt too at the same time. I just bought the photo. He's like, sounds like something I would try to bully you into at the time. Like, make you buy my shirt. But he's like, holy shit. He goes, I haven't
Probably
seen
not many of those shirts from back then.
Yeah.
Right?
Damn, I haven't seen this promo photo in 20 years or whatever it was at the time.
Wow.
But does Bill have the shirt that matches that?
Does what? No.
Shirt.
Bill, did you ever get the shirt that they made for him? It was a cool one on the second run. It had the Fallen Angel logo kind of going across into the shoulder almost, and it's got the on.
Oh, I know the one you're talking about.
I have that shirt. That's one of my favorite. I gotta wear that on Tuesday. That's one of my favorite.
No, you got to wear it on Thursday.
I should wear it on Thursday. It's one of my favorite TNA shirts. We gotta run in.
Run in for the main event.
We got to run it.
His timing is impeccable.
Oh,
Shit.
man.
Bring him
Let's
in.
go. Let's
him
go.
Oh.
You
The
know what
main
that
event.
is?
We are at the main event actually.
Oh, the main event has started.
You happen to make it. Oh, yeah, champion crew over here.
A couple champions down
Oh,
there.
we got some
I
champions.
want to talk. I want to talk
nice.
two
Very
two
nice.
things real quick before we get to the main event, which is Kyle, by the way. But Don and Mike are running on next week's show. AMW. This is where they interrupt him, Bill. They come in, they interrupt him.
This is rough.
Real rough. They're pissed. they're just going off, and Mike's all rattled. Everybody's all fucking rattled. But they announced their tag team partners. They challenge a 6-on.
They're going to tell
3-on-3.
them right now.
We're gonna tell them right now. This is
So
Oh, Trent, pause. Hey, Codebreaker, go fuck yourself. Thank you.
Classic TNA.
But-
TNA.
wait, Kyle, we got a TNI thing to tell
yes.
you in just a second. We got to rewind.
Oh,
to that
the
in a second.
TNI PA is finally coming out. The TNI beer, TNI PA. You guys finally got it into
That's a
production.
pretty good gimmick, actually.
TNI PA.
We get the AMW announces they're going to announce their tag team partner right now. We go to wasn't a video screen, Bill. It was a phone
No.
call.
It was awful. Phone,
That's awful.
the over the broadcast system phone call.
Recorded. Phone
Whoever thought this was a good idea, I know we still had some freaking tag. My guess is this was on the fly, and they're like, guys, we're gonna do this. They still can't get that corner of the cage together.
Yeah.
This may have been the worst segment in the whole history of the show.
Wow.
Wait,
Whoa.
And if William Gardner says it, it's got to be bad. Bill,
Because it's awful. It's awful.
Well,
It's
tell me
Dusty
why.
Rhodes on a recorded phone call.
Bill was in the crowd for the Shelly
To a
Martinez
live
Rebel
arena.
match, all right? If Bill says it, it's bad. It's bad.
Well, wait, I'm curious.
So there were like
Bill.
80 people there.
Well, Bill, I'm curious. For
40.
That bad though? Tell me why.
Because it's once again, and maybe it's just because of where it fell during this whole cage process, but honestly, you've had a lot of we'll call polished turds of segments up to this point, and this one is You come out, okay, AMW, get your match, put it over for next week, fantastic.
Right.
If they just would have said, and the return of the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, that would have been fantastic.
Run that graphic like Sting had the first time.
Yes, this was very reminiscent of Sting's coming. This was, let's put a recorded message by Dusty Rhodes on a telephone for 2 minutes.
That's bad.
To the crowd that's like, you're killing us here. And they were killing me watching it 20 years later.
Yeah, it was.
The crowd was already hobbled at this point because of the cage. Too.
Oh, it was killing the crowd. It was like this was the crowd. If they had guns, it would not be good.
It was in Nashville. They probably did.
Well, and I give credit to AMW. They're trying to get the crowd hyped for this. You know, it's like they walk up the ramp. They got kind of a disgusted look on their face because the crowd's not doing shit. So finally, they're at the top of the ramp and they're like, Dusty. They're trying to get the crowd going, you know, before the cage match. And oh my god, yeah,
it was bad.
I didn't take it as bad as you guys. I got to rewatch it to see how weird it comes off. I did not write any of that down.
The crowd is so cold by the time that this phone call comes on, and Bill's point about the time, the 2 minutes is like excruciating. It was just
and that's maybe I'm too rough saying the worst segment, but the worst like 2 minute period.
It's long.
It's awful. The phone call, and I hate to say because I always feel like I'm piling on Dusty at the end here, because and I love Dusty, but this is just anybody that did this would have had this reaction. Yeah. So it's not a knock on Dusty. Honestly, it's a knock on Russo probably for deciding to put this on, and it was just. Bad.
If the greatest promo of all time can't pull it off, I mean,
exactly. That Dusty doesn't even come close to pulling this off. Just speak to how bad it was.
You can tell who it is, but that's not something you just do audio over a phone, especially phone quality back then.
You better just saying, like Bill said, just say Dusty Rhodes.
It's a hokey setup too. Like even the setup with AMW, they need to come down to the whole thing was just unnecessary and long.
The whole setup was long. Yeah,
you could have had AMW come out for it and then have TNA scream it, and the crowd would have popped more.
Yeah. We go from that real quick. It's a little like sit down. This is kind of more filler too, actually.
It is.
It doesn't stop. It doesn't stop.
I stopped taking notes here.
TNA sitting down with AJ and Russo. Russo's not saying brooding in the corner. Uncle Vince, by the way, Kyle, just brooding in the corner. And then AJ goes through awkward, very not good at AJ segment here. Very awkward talking. Didn't know what to say. But then TNA and Russo get at it because TNA's taking shots at Russo. Russo comes up. TNA's sitting down. He comes up and he just bullies him. He's like, "Got something to say to me, bro? You say it to my face. I'll say it to your face right now." Like TNA was at him, but TNA was.
I thought he said,
"Kaylon and your buddy Kyle. Kaylon and your buddy Kyle."
Uncle Vince,
Dad.
Oh, sorry. It's Pops.
I love it though. I love that.
I was pissed at Russo here because honestly, I've had some bad personal experience in a workplace. Not myself, someone else, with people posturing over young, right out of college, threatening, bullying people like that. And it was, dude, and I'm watching him do that to TNA, and even though TNA's fighting back, I was getting hot at Russo here. I was like, this motherfucker.
You did feel the heat, though. It was like,
dude, the point. Yeah, I was like, I hope TNA gets up and punches him in the dick, but
that was the point.
That's the point. Exactly.
I was fucking hot at this.
Yeah. It worked. They're great friends, though. By the way, they're close.
Oh, I mean, it's wrestling. I didn't know that's real. But again, because it reminded me of a real life situation, Russo had me. I was fucking hot.
That's awesome,
Russo.
No, it was good. It was. I like that TNA was fighting back a lot. He was just as, he was just as heated. Like Rex was even putting it over. Like there was heat there, But they are good friends today, so that's a good thing. But okay, this is the cage match now. AJ D'Lo world title. The build has been ridiculous. This whole thing. My first note just says I can't believe they didn't give D'Lo the fucking belt. How do you not give D'Lo the belt after all this?
Mine says wrong booking.
It just the guy was prime. It was ready for the belt. There was no reason.
When you look back on D'Lo's TNA run, you can't help but think, that was at the end of his career, even though we didn't know it at the time, would have been the perfect. He deserved it. It would have been the perfect time and place for it. Missed opportunity.
He just so over. He was so
I was
over.
just about to say that. He's so fucking over in this match.
Like, you would have just left everybody happy.
Everything he hits, dude, the 5 stars, the lowdowns, the crowd is going fucking
he was doing things in his TNA run that he was not doing in his WWF run.
Yes,
he just reached this prime, and they didn't capitalize.
100%. This is the best version of D'Lo Brown.
Yeah.
Jay,
a lot going on in this one, but D'Lo, I know there's a spot. I know it's in your notes in this one. That towards the end, I know there's a spot that you got written in your notes. That was
freaking. Are you talking about the blading, or are you talking about the Fuji dust?
No, not neither. I'm talking about the D'Lo maneuvering his ass to the top of the cage, and then
that's Fuji dust on the outside.
Yeah.
The Fuji dust on the outside causes the fall.
Yeah,
it causes the distraction to Watts, which has
Watts gets picked. He gets food. Okay, so
what we got set up there, Watts and Russo are handcuffed outside. That's the whole thing.
The whole match, right? Watts is keeping Russo by him on a chain and roughing him up a little bit here and there, pushing him into the wall.
He's dragging him around a little bit, and the more they're doing this. At one point, they've got their backs to the main hard camera, and I'm like, okay. So then, but they're standing there for a while, going back and forth, and then all of a sudden, there's a thing later. By this point, AJ's all bloody, and they got a camera guy up on a corner post looking down where Russo just was, or Eric was, on that side of the ring. And there, clear as day, you're looking down at him in the middle of the ring, like on the ropes, but in the between the posts, middle section there. And there's D'Lo playing with the blade, and
I didn't even catch that.
And then he tucks it underneath the apron, and I'm like, okay, so Russo and or Watts was over there, and their hands are on the apron, they're banging on the thing. You're distracted by everything going on. They didn't see him, slip a little blade underneath the apron right there as they're walking past. It's like, oh, so it's okay. So it's right there. Okay, it's right here. I'm banging over here. It's pointing. Okay,
that's crazy. I didn't even catch that.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, yeah. You didn't see it happen with AJ, but it was probably more the hard way because he was really getting his face scraped across the fence. But that just bugs the shit out of me when it's like, oh, there's the blade. Oh, there he is. Yeah. It's like, oh,
yeah, they were real bad early on some of the, well, not even early on. I'd say still 20 episodes ago. Yeah. They were catching, like, the camera didn't know not to be there during spots of bleeding and stuff.
Yeah,
like they'd be zoomed in on it sometimes. Yeah. They'd be like, come on, guys. Oh, it's one thing to see it at an indie show, but it's another thing to like see it on TV. You got to know where these spots are coming. But that just told you, like, they really warned, even though we're over a year in now, they do better. They're doing better, but they still don't have the direction to be like, don't go there while they're doing the job.
It's a lot less today.
And there they didn't do as much, like, where, like, oh, go under the ring for 20 seconds, which is the go-to today.
Right.
But the thing is, so the finish, so there's the powder on the outside, Fuji dust on the outside, causing Watts to bump into the cage, causing D'Lo to fall. Very rough fall, too, by the way.
Rough fall.
Man, oh, man.
I was worried about him. I had Sid vibes for a second.
Because he went like foot first. It was really,
he went foot first. That was very worrisome.
Yeah. Down like that.
He's a heavier guy, so it's like, man, that could have been very dangerous.
And this isn't a 6-foot cage. I mean, this is a fucking monster of a cage.
This is a big ass cage, man, and he's at the top. He's pulling that top fucking peak 15-foot drop.
Yeah, he's pulling that death sentence shit we saw a couple weeks ago,
dude. Yeah, but he falls. AJ makes the pin. Match over. They run.
The pinning combo is so sick though, because D'Lo is kicked out of a Styles Clash. He's kicked out of, I don't know, a few significant things, and then he Irish whips AJ into the corner, comes in for a splash. AJ dodges. D'Lo seated on the second turnbuckle. AJ gets under him, power bombs him, floats over into a Styles Clash, and rolls over into the pin. Just an awesome sequence from AJ. Like, it was so cool. He was so good, so young. I mean, I know we all know AJ Styles is amazing, but every time we watch an AJ match on these, it blows my fucking mind how good he is at a year into the business, 2 years into it's fucking nuts. He's like Kurt Angle. Just prodigy. Just had it.
Total prodigy.
AJ is
Sorry.
That was the but that's it, guys. That Russo starts getting on the mic to just shit on D'Lo, but then it's weird that they were running over because Mike said, we gotta go, we're running over.
We're out of time.
But the funny thing was that the show came in only at 1:14. I mean, it was hour 14 or 114 minutes. They still had 6 minutes to play with.
Well, they probably thought they were an hour over after that cage setup.
Yeah.
Right.
So I don't know what was, I don't know what ended up happening with the rest of it, but yeah, that was it. They went off the air, and that's the end of it. So I still say D'Lo should have gotten the title. I think it's bullshit. He never got the belt. It's a total loss.
Yeah, you know, Trent, I feel like we can all agree with that. But Armand CM with the hot take. J-Bar, aren't you bringing this guy on your show soon? Look at what Armand says in the chat here. Lots of missed opportunities for champions in TNA/Impact. D'Lo, of course. Christopher Daniels, of course. Tomko. How the fuck does Tomko fit in there? He was Christian Cage's manager.
I love that Tomko is a definite, but I'll even give D'Angelo. D'Angelo should have won it at Lockdown 2010.
I'll give it to Pope.
Pope for sure. With the AJ feud, should have won.
Pope definitely. Matt Morgan maybe. But how do you put Tomko in there, Armand? Tomko. Now, I would never say this to Tomko's face because he ripped my head off. But you know, in the safety of my little podcast here, how the fuck do you put Tomko in the same lineage of those guys?
He got a tag title run. That's good enough.
Yeah, he had the look. If you're just going on looks alone. Just like we were talking about Northcutt earlier. He had a Northcutt look to him. Like the cut of his jib looked like something that you wouldn't want to mess with. Tomko. Tyson Tomko.
Hey, Watts, same thing, right? Put him with Tomko.
Exactly. But that's like saying Eric Watts should have been world champion.
Yeah. Look was there. But I don't know about the championship there. but that's it, guys. That's the episode. That's number 57. It was a lot going on. A lot of but Kyle, here's something we got to tell you. At the 1 hour and 14 minute mark, there is something you need to soundbite, my friend.
Oh God,
Christopher.
Hour 14.
Hour 14.
Let him watch it.
Oh, actually, do you have your Impact Plus fired up, or are you still spending your money on
No, Trent. I'm hooked up through Fight.tv. I am on Impact Plus.
I want you to go to this at an hour 14 on episode on 57 at the TNA 57. Christopher Daniels cutting a promo in the crowd. I need you to go to that and watch it and soundbite it. Okay. So you know.
All right.
Yeah, you've got to see it for yourself.
You got to see it for yourself. It's
when
going to
you
blow
hear
your
it,
mind.
you'll know it.
Yeah, it'll blow your mind. So somebody to remind Kyle to do it. But the guys, that's it.
The chat is still going. Confusion about Tomko.
Okay, so Saturday.
I love the hot take, Armin hot take,
and he's sticking to it. He's doubling down. They could have broke out Tomko. You know, they could have.
Damn it. Armand is going to be on with J-Bone soon to defend this. This is
I might have to join the show and press him about Tomko on your AEW show there, J-Bone.
This is going to be covered on Smash. Armand, we are absolutely counting on you to come up with good counterpoints for Tomko. Yeah. Kyle's going to lead point on why Tomko sucks. We're going to do this on Smash.
You know what, though?
That's your homework. That's your homework,
I'm not going to dismiss it. I'm not going to dismiss it because that's like go in like WWF. Trent. Adam Bomb.
Adam Bomb.
World champion.
Great look.
Great look. That's what it feels like. But when I was the age when Adam Bomb came out, when I first saw him, I was probably like, you know what? That guy could be world champion.
I'll give you
He's
that.
Adam freaking Bomb.
I thought the same thing. He was.
Then later, I realized, oh no, that ain't gonna work. But at least potential. I could see that. Like when you first saw Tomko appear on your screen, that dude looks like a badass. He could be world champion.
Until he opens his mouth. Until he opens his mouth.
Yeah, I mean the personality wasn't there, but it's crazy. He was
Shira, world champion.
Yeah, I get it. Now the show's over. Now the show's definitely over.
Just in case Armand thinks we're truly dull, which we're not. Like this is just to make the point that we could say this about nearly anyone, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in my opinion, Taya should have taken the Impact World Championship off Tessa Blanchard and been the world champion.
In my opinion, William Gardner should have been X Division champion. That's just a take.
Well, hey, I say, hey, we talk about Trinity should have been X Division champion. I think Jordan Grace should be the current X Division champion.
Ooh, Armand with a good counterpoint in the chat.
What's he saying?
Just saying, it's a good one. I can't argue with that.
Oh no, he makes a great point, but it's Tomko. I don't know.
Well, that's the thing, because
I don't know if Tomko's cutting the mustard, Armand.
Yeah, he's not Kevin Nash.
Of bodyguards doing it, but not all of them can, because there's been a lot of bodyguards in wrestling. Hey, Mr. Hughes.
Hey, sweet tattoos and a sweet beard, though. I'll give him that. Give him that.
Vincent could have been the champion.
No, come on. Give me a break. Give me a break.
Is that what this means?
Only the $1 million champion.
That's right. And the Creepers could have been tag champs.
The Creepers.
Wow, one of the strangest moments in TNI history is when we had that guy on and we had the Creeper face off.
That was so fucking weird.
He came on and just didn't say anything and just stared into the camera. That was podcast magic.
What did he say? How did he end up there? He told us, and I don't remember how he ended up.
Go back and check it out in the archives. It's out there.
It's too weird for me to watch again.
This was a very awkward episode.
It's like
I'll say this: if I don't know this at all, is Tomko on Twitter? Is he like around social media?
I thought he was in prison.
He was in jail for robbing.
That was Van Hammer. That was Van Hammer.
No, it was Tomko. He stole like a garbage bag of Oxy from a pharmacy.
Oh. He went into the farm. He went into the pharmacy several days in a row, and he basically told them, "Give me all the Oxy in the safe," and alluded to having a gun. Said, "Don't make me hurt you. You'll be in a lot of pain." Yeah. And
then he went to a nearby Chili's and got figgity fucked up. Apparently,
he got fucked up and got arrested.
According to Wikipedia,
pretty bad. Pretty bad. Fucking weird shit, man. Weird ass shit.
He was also in the Limp Bizkit music video for My Generation.
He was their bodyguard. That's he ended up entering WWE's rehab program. So good for him. Hopefully he's clean.
Good for him. Good for him.
Oh, good for you. Well, too much information though. It's okay.
But hey, Tyson Tomko being talked about in world title talk. He should know about this.
Unbelievable. But that's it, guys. That's the episode. That's 57. We're gonna do 58 next week. We're continuing on. Things are planned. We got a couple matches announced for it. Everything's looking pretty solid. Hakeem just mentioned in the chat, but No Surrender is this weekend. We got the co-stream, not the co-stream. We got the what do we call it? The simulcast, Jay. The simulcast. Smash This Podcast, YouTube and Twitch, TNI YouTube. It's gonna be Jay Bone, myself, Mark will be doing that. Bill, you're on Saturday? You going to an indie show? You around?
I thought about going to an indie show, but I got to be here for No Surrender.
No Surrender's looking hot. That's a hot show, man.
Bill, you don't want to go out and catch COVID anyway. You don't want the vid.
Just the card without the little. Now it's starting to look like we might have a few surprises. And someone just dropped a video earlier today. Somebody got a new hairdo. Or I should say haircut.
Not you, J Bone. No haircuts for you.
Yeah, the last time you got a
haircut. No.
So let's just say
like a 2005 emo kid right here with
This is the modern wrestler look. Every wrestler has this haircut right now.
I was gonna say Mo from the Stooges, but I'm old school. I think EC3 is looking fresh. He could certainly show up in a couple of days.
I think it's all a matter of time, J-Bone.
We'll find out.
Could be now, could be later, but I said it from
now. He's campaigning for Tomko to win the belt because if Dreamer now you're putting him with Dreamer.
Wait. Did you put up his previous comment though?
God, what's going on here?
Because Armin's
all in, dude.
Yeah,
someone said he died. Did he die?
No, someone Millard Harris in the chat is saying he died. No, he didn't die.
He's not dead.
After that incident we just learned about, there is a championship. He might be up for grabs.
Scumbag title.
Scumbag championship.
RK Shuttlesworth, man. Chat's starting to pop for Tomko.
Relax the Tomko talk. He's not even in Throwback, for God's sake.
He's going to come to your house and beat you up, Trent.
He eventually, he won't be in our Throwback, but a guy that we just had on the Tuesday show that starts showing up on Explosion not far from now is also celebrating a birthday today.
Name it off. Go together.
Hernandez.
Well, his birthday today. Same birthday as Ken Shamrock. Good for both of them. How about that?
Past Peter's birthday.
Dear God.
I wish when you leave Impact Wrestling, you die. Kind of where I'm at, you know.
Yeah, I'm not talking about the Rascals anymore. Once you leave Impact, you're dead. That's it. Gone.
Trey's awesome. What are you talking
Trey's
about?
bad.
Not Trey. Trey's good. We got him, but the other two, because I don't even mention by name anymore. That's the kind of fans we are. Once you leave Impact, that's it. Don't let the door hit you in the ass.
I like to say it nicely. Front of the jersey, not the back.
Front of the jersey, not the back. I will
always love the Rascals. Trey Miguel's my guy, man.
Those other two guys were all right.
I
like that. All right, let's wrap this up, boy. Let's get the plug in here. All right, J-Bone, what's going on with you? What's going on this weekend? You're reviewing stuff tomorrow night too, I believe.
Oh, yeah. Friday nights is always the SmackDown night over at Smash This Podcast.
You're really partying it up on Fridays, aren't you, J-Bone?
Trying. Keyword trying. It's rough. It's rough. There's not a big crowd for the WWE.
There's not enough lollipops in the world to get you through that.
That sounds like a Sean Connery line right now.
I'm almost out too. Anyways, yeah, Smash This Podcast on YouTube, Twitch, and all the socials. The Facebox, the Twitter box, and the Instaneck. And audio to anchor.fm/Smash This Podcast for your bone on the go.
Bone on the go. There you go.
Bone on the
Put
go.
On the go. It sounds like high school.
Yeah, that bone a la carte.
Mark really gets you, man.
You can catch me only on the Twitter at Mark World Order, MARKQ. Otherwise, I will be on the cock.
Wait a sec. Mark World Order.
He changed it. She's gone, man.
We bullied Mark successfully into changing his handle.
It just didn't make sense. People kept calling out, and you know what? They were right. Like, she's gone. You know,
that's it. But in front of the jersey, not the back of the jersey.
Front of the jersey. That's right. The
jersey.
That's here to stay.
Correction. We don't know where she is right now. She may be back.
So no, she'll pull a Trey. We're calling it pulling a Trey now.
Hey, you never know.
Exactly, dude. After Trey came back, anything's on the table.
Put the money up, Anthem. We want Ty to stay.
Yes, absolutely. Put the money up, Anthem.
All right, what we got? Bill, we're going to get you.
They can get me mainly on the Twitter, maybe on the gram this weekend. Add my name, William M. Gardner, GARDNA.
The false promise of the Instagram, I'm going to stop buying it at this point. I'm stopping buying it at this point.
I care it.
No. Bill's too busy on his OnlyFans page. He's got no time for Instagram. Let's be honest.
Just pictures of Bill in the front row. That's what it is.
Oh, yes.
But Kaylon, we're going to get you.
Well, I don't know, Trent. I didn't watch this episode. I thought you guys were off the air. I thought I was crashing the after party. I contributed nothing here. But, hey, follow me on Twitter at KL on the mic. Shoot me a DM.
Guys, you get me at Trent Zbyszko over on Twitter. Also, I do another show called the Backstage Boys Podcast. Go check that out. The BSB show on Twitch. Also, the band Hemi Music. Give us a follow on Instagram and Twitter as well. This show available at We Talk Impact, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, or just type in Total Nonstop Impact. It comes right up. All audio platforms, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Google Play, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, Spotify, Pandora, Amazon. Rate, review, subscribe. Make it a part of your TNI. Take it on the go. Like Bone on the go, take TNI on the go. It doesn't have the same ring to it. But go ahead and take it on the go.
Daniel said it.
What's that? Oh, yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. But yeah, take it. Get the audio, guys. Video, twitch.tv/Total Nonstop Impact, youtube.com/Total Nonstop Impact, prowrestlingtees.com/Total Nonstop Impact, Discord in the chat, Discord link. We still got to get Alicia on the Discord. She wanted to get on the Discord. So let's get into Discord, guys. Hook up the conversation in between shows. Continues on the Discord, so get in there and hang out with us. But tomorrow,
and be sure to check out the Total Nonstop Impact Angel Fire page. Where,
yes, it's still up
fire.
there.
On fire.
Fridays, guys.
Speaking of, go ahead.
Go. I was gonna say Fridays, guys. The UK team drops their new episode every Friday at noon Central Time. Lunch to make your lunchtime listening. They're talking No Surrender. It's Joe and Steve. Bison is out this week. Joe and Steve anchoring, talking No Surrender. The news of the week. What happened this week? Check them out tomorrow at noon. That'll be going up. And then this Sunday, Impact Plus Weekly, the family dinner. We'll be talking some stuff there. And then back again Tuesday. Mystery guest potentially showing up this coming Tuesday. We'll find out.
Mystery guest.
Yeah, I took off from work for that shit, so it better be a good one.
We'll find out. I don't know who it is. I don't know what's going on. We might not have anybody.
No, we do have somebody.
Oh, that's right. We do. Yeah. Oh, yeah. There might be somebody in addition to that. Somebody plug the somebody you booked.
We might have multiple somebody.
So So in celebration of before the Impact launching on Tuesday, we are going to welcome back Scoop, meaning Gia Miller, just for 10, 15 minutes to kind of fill us in, plug the show, say hi to the fam. So yeah, be ready for Gia on Tuesday.
Gia stopping by for 10, 15 minutes or so just to plug that and everything, get her stuff in there. Maybe she'll have a new promo code, guys. Remember last time?
That's starting next week, that BTI. Yeah. So make sure you set your watches or whatever.
J-Ball's out. He's in the treehouse. But guys, that's going to be next week. And it might be another guest in addition. And they believe the tax man's going to come on as a guest host next week too. So he'll be hanging out with us during the review. All right, guys. That's going to do it for us. It's Valentine's Day this weekend. It's coming up this week. Sunday, Valentine's Day. If you don't, Kyle, don't fuck this up, man. It's Valentine's Day. You got to do something.
I'm going to Hooters on Valentine's Day.
Smart man.
Nice.
Smart man.
That's the Valentine's Day.
Which one? I'll see you there.
Mark, you are a married man. I'm sure this. And Jay, you're married men here. You guys got to do something. Don't give that excuse. We've been married too long. All that
marriage talk.
They all expect it. Don't forget that.
One small hint.
I know. She pointed at it in the store like 5 times. I know exactly what I'm getting, Mrs. J-Bone.
Nice. Very nice. Very nice. Whatever happens behind closed doors with you, J-Bone, we don't want to know. We don't want to know. All right, guys, we're going to get out of here. Happy Valentine's Day. Have a great weekend, everybody. Be safe out there.
I have seen that penis.
Absolutely. So good night, everybody. We'll talk to you Sunday.